A 3, a 2, a 2.5, and a 1. What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue B-Sides. Remember, you can find B-Sides every Friday here on youtube.com/NGRradio and NGRradio.com. And now on your podcast service of choice. You can download us and listen to us. Your vehicle, your place of business, I don't know where else.
We're really
Business
good entertainment on the crapper. I'm just saying.
Your business.
I mean, one guy found our business card while he was doing his business, so
That's true.
Hey, there's some gorillas in the
true.
background. Watch out, Matt.
See? Yeah, business cards all day.
Yeah. Dude, I need some of those. You got to ship some to me. I'll put them out. I'll put them out there.
Okay, I'll just ship you a box.
That's fine. I'm down for that.
All right.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. Well, Matt.
actually, that reminds me. I need to send you a book, Corey. I know you're
a lot
not
of
like
sending going on here.
I don't know if you're a reader, but there's a book. There's a book I own.
Wilco? Jeez,
Where?
Above your right corner, above NWA. Is that
This?
Wilco? Or is that Beastie Boys?
That's Beastie Boys.
It's Beastie Boys. Okay. All right.
That's Beastie Boys.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right,
Beastie
I'm sorry.
Boys.
I know that
NWA,
band.
Pete Rock and Seal,
Now,
Smooth,
just
Van
stop.
Deacon,
Fucking-
Radiohead.
No one asked you to talk about the rest of the fucking titles. All right. I was just asking
I wasn't talking about
the
the titles, sir. I was talking about the bands.
Well, I'm trying to figure out who they are, and you telling me who they are does not help me.
I'm just trying to help, Moose. I don't know why you're so
dick
angry with me.
face.
I know I'm a dick face. I look at it every day in the mirror.
Anyway,
It's fine. Calm down. No reason to get aggressive.
2 beers in with no dinner, so aggressive.
I've had like 4.
No Arby's this week?
My wife.
I need some Arby's.
Yeah. no Arby's this
We
week.
need Arby's, Moose, again.
Matt, update us on the World Cup.
Can we talk Moose Powers?
No, we're not talking Moose Powers.
We'll save that for the main show.
All right, so
I want to play some Chasm. It comes out of my Vita on Friday.
actually,
Welcome to
no, not
Tournament.
on Friday. Friday's
Octopath
the
Traveler
13th.
comes out,
It comes out on the
Switch on Friday,
31st.
and I'll be playing that on Saturday.
Wow, Moose is really bad at that.
I like mine better.
Like,
I'm on my 4th beer.
second, maybe third. No, third. I can't count.
Matt,
Anyways.
update us on the World Cup, please.
the American public school system at work. I don't know what you want here. Okay, so World Cup still going on. The semifinals start. The day they start tomorrow. As of the day this is recording, it is, what day is it? July 9th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's July 9th right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the quarterfinals were for really good matches, even with penalty shootouts involved. England has actually done some pretty cool stuff. They finally won a penalty shootout at a World Cup. That's kind of a big deal for them because that was like the albatross around their neck.
Didn't they beat Colombia?
They beat Colombia in a penalty shootout,
Sadly,
which
I got 2
sucks.
Colombia
Which
coworkers.
sucks because because of Colombia's history as a national team, I always kind of have a soft spot for them.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks. But like at the same time, England are playing good soccer. It's entertaining. It's none of this bullshit they've done in the past where they walk around all arrogant, like, oh, we invented the sport, so you just have to bow down to us. Like England walks around thinking they are Real Madrid. And Real Madrid did this for a long time in the club game where they just thought everyone was just going to bow because they're Real Madrid. Then they finally started working for it, and they won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. So amazing what a little work can do. But no, England beat Colombia on a penalty shootout. That's a big deal. Then they beat a team who normally, for what I would say is a lot of years, especially since like 1990, would give them severe problems because Sweden, while they aren't the most highly rated soccer playing nation. They know, like as Alexi Lawless would say, they know who they are and who they are not. And going into a sporting match of any kind, that's kind of a good quality to have because you know what you can do and you know what you can't.
Yeah.
They knew they had a couple of players that could run at England, but the rest of them kind of just had to work together as a unit and keep England at bay. Unfortunately, England decided to be creative and run right back at them, and it was a good 2-0 victory to England. It was actually a very fun game to watch. I actually watched it twice, which is
dedication.
Well, it's not even dedication. It was just like it was actually like super entertaining, and that doesn't happen much in knockout soccer tournaments of any kind, be it club or international. I think the Belgium-Japan game, like where they said, no, we are winning this in normal time. We don't care if we're down 2-0 to Japan.
Right.
And then Belgium went on, beat fucking Brazil. And to see it, Brazil suffer from that Real Madrid thing too, where they're like, we're Brazil. We've won 5 World Cups. What are you doing challenging us? Who are you? And then, Neymar was flopping around like a fish out of water. And when Belgium scored, Belgium didn't score the first goal. It was an own goal by Fernandinho of Brazil. Once that happened, and I said it on our last B-side, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. That was Brazil getting punched in the mouth and not knowing how to respond. Eventually, Kevin De Bruyne for Belgium just waltzed up and pulled out one of the best strikes of the World Cup thus far, and it basically put Brazil away. Sure, a player that I like because I'm a Bayer Leverkusen supporter. He came on for Brazil, Renato Augusto, scored a goal and really put them back in it, and it got them working towards offense again, but it was just too little too late. France beat Uruguay rather convincingly. I'm not really there's really not much you can say. Uruguay did not have Edinson Cavani because he was injured, and I don't think he was the key to the team going forward, but he was an integral piece of an offense that could mess with defenses. Just talking back to Belgium a little bit, they have a forward named Romelu Lukaku, and he looks something like a small linebacker in football, but he's fast and he can control the ball really, really well. So if you have a bigger guy who is going to beat you just because he has more mass, especially he can outmuscle you if an aerial ball comes in. But if Edinson Cavani is running at defenders, he's going to confuse them. And Luis Suarez, who is a fantastic ball handler, good striker of the ball, can score tricky goals. I mean, he's not going to score them from like too far away, but he will dribble around defenders in the box and score. If you have both of those working together, it stretches you thin. And having just one of those, it's sort of like, okay, we can deal with you.
Okay.
And Uruguay lost that second threat, and that's kind of what did them in. It sucks because I don't know. I'm pretty sure Suarez and Cavani could be around for the next World Cup. I just don't know if they're going to be main players. But I know like their keeper, who I like, his name is Fernando Muslera. He used to play for Napoli. I don't know where he plays now, but he's a good keeper, and it kind of sucks that he goes out the way he did. Croatia, Russia, the other quarterfinal that I really cared about, just because I like seeing Eastern Bloc teams, especially like Croatia with the history of leaving the Soviet Union, or actually they left Yugoslavia, but it all comes from that politically. Croatia beat Russia on a penalty shootout. They beat probably the second or third best keeper in the world, who in the prior shootout he was in saved 3 penalties. That's kind of a big deal. But that game, I think it ended normal time 1-1. In extra time, each team scored, which created drama. And then the penalty shootout was not exactly boring. It wasn't just waiting for people to miss. Like, those keepers were saving. It added extra drama because the Croatian keeper, Subasic, he did a Willis Reed where he was injured and decided to keep playing. So that's always cool to see, like, in sports. And yeah, so the semifinals of the World Cup in 2018 are England versus Croatia and France versus Belgium. There are only 2 World Cup winners left, and France and England are the only 2. Now, I think the way the odds are stacked up in Europe right now, England or France are the out-and-out favorites to win. England and Belgium are tied for second, and then Croatia is a distant 4th. Now, I know Moose doesn't give a shit, which is fine. Corey.
I care because you care.
Transitive property doesn't work, but I appreciate it. Corey, do you have any thoughts, any questions, any concerns, any observances?
I mean, I feel like I would be way more into this if I was actually watching it. You know, like I'm always interested. Oh, there's a giant fly in here. That's gross.
Fly, it's not gross. It's nature.
Your nature.
I am nature.
You're welcome. Nature.
I am nature.
Everything that exists out there, me.
Use the big boy voice, Moose. It's okay.
Anyway.
Nature calls when I drink beer.
That's right.
You're welcome.
Back to you for floating.
No, I mean, like, if I was like really watching the World Cup, I would be way more interested. But like, I mean, I see stuff on Facebook and YouTube and stuff of countries celebrating their teams and stuff, and I mean, I think that's really cool when you watch that stuff, especially when I think I don't remember who it was, but someone beat Russia. Right? Am I making that up?
England or Croatia beat Russia.
Yeah, and like there was probably like 10,000 fans standing in the streets watching on this big like projector screen, and you just see all these people in the streets go crazy for their country, and that's like really cool to see. Like, not even the Olympics really have that.
Yeah,
and it's just really cool to see like people like and it's really weird to see people celebrating their country when our country is so divided right now too, that like I don't know, I really appreciated watching like the Croatia crowd go nuts, because, you know,
I'm gonna tell you right now, you should have seen the Belgian crowd when they beat Brazil. Like I've been watching it on YouTube TV. And there are these Volkswagen commercials that make me chuckle every time, because it ends up like my favorite one is it's a tie between either Switzerland or Belgium, where they open like a Swiss guy, and I'm going to do an accent. I don't know how accurate it is, but he's like, "Hello, America. Sorry you're not in the tournament, but now you can root for Switzerland. After all, we gave you this," and they hold up a Swiss Army knife. And
I thought it would be cheese.
And he's like, "Look, it's a can opener." And then a guy in the backseat goes, "Don't forget the tweezers." He's like, "Nice. It's tweezers." And like, it's just the right kind of ridiculous that just warms my heart right here.
That reminds me of that old Jaeger commercial. I don't know if you've seen it or not, where they're in like this really fancy club, but it's all covered in ice.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Is it cold?" And the like very German lady is like, "Of course it's cold. It's German." And I'm just like,
not really how that works, but okay.
I don't think Germany's really that cold all the time.
That's kind of problematic in a couple of ways, but we don't need to go there. But like another one of those commercials is for Belgium, And it's this lovely Belgian man who's sitting in America. Sorry you're not in the tournament, but now consider rooting for Belgium. After all, we throw the largest electronic dance music festival every year. And then there's this guy in this passenger seat, like just touching the lighting panel. And he's like, that's Hans, my lighting guy.
Hans.
And you just see these two just grooving to EDM music. It's so good. And then like the Germany one just does exactly what Germany. Consider rooting for Germany. After all, we gave you the Frankfurter. And I'm like, that's dumb. You could have done better. And then, Brazil. There's like, consider rooting for Brazil. We've won more trophies than any other. Another reason for me to go, fuck you, because you're entitled. And then the lady shuts the trunk and goes, oh, look, enough room for one more trophy. And it's even better now that Brazil's out. Another one is the Iceland one where they're like, Iceland could really use your support. After all, we don't have enough we don't have enough people to actually do a wave. And then there's this guy in the far back seat who does this. And there are two variations on the commercial. There's one where the lady looks at the camera and goes, see? And then there's another one where she's like, put your hands down, Sven. And I'm like, it's Moose.
Moose, put your hands down.
Well, and then there's the other one with Rob Stone and Alexi Lawless, like picking people up that all support different nations, and they all start doing ole, 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 and I'm like, really? We're doing the most generic thing ever. In fact,
it's something that unites people.
Well, yeah, it does, and like every nation does it, and that's fine,
right?
It's like one of the things that there was a podcast I used to listen to called World Football Daily, and there was a guy who used to host it named Stephen Cohen, who's a fantastic pundit, but like he had a real beef with Liverpool Football Club, and like. He always ripped on them and their fans for co-opting pop songs for their chants, because that's just something that all English clubs do. In fact, when I don't remember which club started it, but you remember the White Stripes song "Seven Nation Army"?
Yeah.
Well, when there was a club who started, whenever their team scored, they would do the da na 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 na.
The beginning.
They would do that. Now. Cohen thought this was cool. He's like, oh, that's so awesome. But like, if Liverpool fans ever sang You'll Never Walk Alone, he's like, oh, look, they're just stealing from Carousel like they always do, because all they do is steal. I'm like, every club does exactly what they do. You just hate them.
Right.
And I'm like, and I had problems with how he presented it because I just thought it was unfair. And then there were also some things that he actually said about Liverpool fans, which are problematic. That's too long to go to in this B-side. But yeah, like I think that's one thing that I love about the game itself. Because fans in every nation, they will make up songs for their team or a player and use pop songs as the bedrock of it. And I think that's a cool thing. And then of course you'll get like when Newcastle used to have this striker called Alan Shearer. This guy could put the ball in the back of the net. Like it was his job. But yeah, he put the biscuit in the basket. Like it got to a point where starting him basically started Newcastle a goal up. Now, granted, they couldn't defend very well, so it would eventually tie, and they lost some games because of it. But it got to a point where people were so tired of Shearer scoring, they would just do cheers that said "fuck off, Shearer," especially when they were beating Newcastle. But like, I appreciate that side of it, and I like the fact that. FIFA has gone a ways to just use Seven Nation Army as the entry music for both teams every match this World Cup. Like, it's a really good baseline. We can allow this, and I just hope Jack White and the White Stripes are getting paid for it. So,
well, just him, but sure.
Well, Meg played.
She played, but I don't think she wrote anything.
I don't think she did either. But she's in the band. She deserves it. Like, I mean, let's be fair, Moose. You and I do jack here. Like, Corey's the one pulling all the strings.
That's right.
You tell me you and I don't come here and use our voices for whatever eternity we talk every Monday night.
That's right.
We at least deserve like 10 cents on the dollar of whatever Corey gets.
That's true.
Like, if he's getting $1 per episode, we get a dime. That's fair.
All right, yeah.
What's
Okay.
10% of nothing?
Nothing.
Oh.
So I'm fine with nothing.
I mean,
I'm just here to have a good time.
Billy Preston said it best. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
That's right.
So yeah, World Cup's still real good. This is I will wrap this up by saying this is actually my favorite soccer international tournament that I've seen live. Like I've gone through nebulous streaming options and I've actually seen every World Cup from 1970 to now, with the exception of like maybe a match or two each tournament. But like I've been watching them live since 2002, and this is my favorite tournament without a doubt. And that's saying something because the U.S. aren't in it and doing well. Usually I don't really like the tournament unless they're doing well. I still watch it all, but it's a breath of fresh air not having, that I have to worry about how they're going to do next game. Any new basketball news, Corey?
Not from the Cavs.
Trash.
Not from the Cavs. Everybody else is signing players, but not the Cavs.
Tell us how you really feel.
I mean, I'm frustrated that they're not making any moves to like try to get better. I mean, I understand they want to build around this Sexton kid, but like, no, there's no. They haven't really signed any free agents, and it's pretty sad.
Who's the Sexton kid you're talking about?
Their draft pick this year. And like we've still got good pieces. Like we have Tristan Thompson who came out and said he can be a perennial powerhouse now. And I'm like, no. You're good, but you're not that good. And then like Kevin Love, the rumor is by trade deadline we're gonna offload Love, J.R. Smith, and George Hill to free up cap space to sign 3 max players in next season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, it's a mess. It's just a mess. And then Tyronn Lue, our coach, was like, he in an interview, he's like, I was shocked that LeBron left. I'm like, really? You're shocked that LeBron left? Like, he's like,
he was a dumbass.
Yeah, he's like, I've said this since they hired him. He's not a good coach. He's not. I'm sorry. He's just not.
I don't know anything about his coaching record, but if you didn't see LeBron was leaving,
mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I get it. Corey he was like, you know what? I think he'll stay. And he had reasons, like concrete reasons for thinking that. And that's fine. But like, I'm sorry. And the NBA is a business.
Yeah.
Everything.
And those players, like they'd go on commercials saying, "Yeah, we do this for the love of the game. We do it. It's all about the love. All we want to do is play." They ain't getting paid. They ain't playing.
Yeah.
Guarantee you, they will. Yeah. They would have found something else a long, long time ago that they could get paid doing.
Yeah. So I mean, like I don't care that LeBron left like at all. I mean, I do, but I'm not like upset about it. Big name players leave all the time, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just mad that the front office isn't like trying to make moves to at least get us in position to be competitive this year.
Yeah.
Like it's just like they're totally gonna just try to bomb the season and try to get big draft picks in the next couple of years. Like that's all I see what they're doing.
And that's problematic as well because if you're that bad, number 1 draft picks don't want to play for you.
I know. It's just it's a little frustrating, but I mean, all these other teams are making good moves, and I think the West is going to be dominant this year. I think, the big rumor that Kawhi Leonard was going to go to LA too. They were trying to trade. He said he doesn't want to go there anymore because LeBron's there, and he wants to be the main man somewhere. I'm like, you are the main man in San Antonio. One of the most respected franchises in all the NBA. You are the main guy. Like, what are you talking about? One of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game.
One of the most respected franchises. Period. Like, right. In sports. Like, Popovich is a genius. We've seen a lot of NBA coaches come in and do some shit. I think he's a better coach than Phil Jackson. He may not have the rings, but
but he's the most consistent coach ever.
Like I know what San Antonio's going to do every season in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Playoffs are kind of a dice roll, but dude, Popovich is amazing as a coach. He might be the NBA's John Wooden. Yeah. Without, 10 consecutive trophies.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think, the Thunder are going to be dominant this year. I think, and Carmelo Anthony's out of there. So, I mean, I think Westbrook and Paul George can carry that team if they get
Is Paul George staying? I thought he was exercising his free agent.
No, he opted out of his 1-year contract and just re-signed a long-term deal with them.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think the Thunder will be good. I think the Lakers will be decent. I still think the Warriors are going to win again.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hard. I mean, it's really hard to bet against them. It really is.
I really thought Klay Thompson was going to leave. They still have everybody. The only person they lost was McGee. And it's okay, so you lost McGee and signed what's his face to a league minimum.
Yeah, they signed DeMarcus Cousins.
DeMarcus Cousins for a league minimum, $5.2 million they signed him for.
And DeMarcus Cousins is not a bad player.
He's better than McGee.
Well, yeah, I mean
they upgraded. It doesn't matter.
I don't know the extent of his talents, but I know that there's there are a couple of YouTubers I watch for NBA stuff, and they're Boogie Cuz he's not the player you think he is. He's way better.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's a wait and see situation here in Cleveland, but I mean, we've got good players. We don't have great players. I mean, you're going to try to build a team around Sexton and Love. That's cool. I don't think they're as in bad a shape as they were when LeBron left the first time. Right. I think they've got better pieces. I think they've got a team that can be competitive and be in the playoffs. But I don't know if that's where Dan Gilbert wants them to be. I think Dan Gilbert wants them to just fail so they can get more draft picks and then I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do. He wants a new generation of Cavs, and that's what we got to do. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this team rebounds from LeBron leaving.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, I'm not upset LeBron left, angry or anything. It sucks that he left, and we're just kind of mediocre again. But I would almost rather be in the situation we were the last time and just rebuild from scratch. It's just now we're kind of hanging in mediocrity, and we have so much. We have so many contracts that are just hanging there, right. And the only way to get rid of them is to trade them. But then who do you trade for? And then you get those contracts, and is it any better? Yeah. So
life is shit.
Well, see, I feel like being a Cavaliers fan and a Browns fan, you've set yourself up for a certain thing. Mm-hmm. And there's actually some good comparisons, in the sport that I follow, soccer. I feel like setting yourself up as a Cavs or Browns fan, it's very similar to setting yourself up as a team that is destined for mid-table mediocrity. They're never going to win a title. but they're never going to get relegated either. Like my favorite team, like my number one, because I watch a bunch of leagues, or at least I did watch a bunch of leagues when I had the fucking time, is Valencia in Spain. They won the title. Well, actually, I don't really think they won the title in 2004 so much as Barcelona just lost it to them. Like Barcelona kind of snatched defeat from the jaws of victory that season. Like they just. It wasn't like a meltdown situation. It's just Valencia just kept getting results, and Barcelona had balls bounced the wrong way.
Yeah.
But like, there are a couple of teams that I really like that have gotten massive investments, like Paris Saint-Germain in France, Manchester City in England, and Tottenham in England. Like they've become like contenders for titles. And while I've always had like a genuine support for them, like I find it hard now because they're winning. It's kind of annoying because if I have a Man City jersey I wear, and that one, Moose.
No, right above your head. Yeah.
Oh, that is Caribou.
No, never mind. I was wrong. Continue as you were, sir. You didn't have to answer me. You could just.
You asked the question. I want to address, but like rooting for them now is really difficult. Like I have a Man City jersey, and they're like, "Oh, you like them because they just buy everybody." I'm like, I liked them before they had money. I liked them when they were almost relegated. Like there was something special about them then. It's harder to watch them now. But, good for them. I'm happy for them. It's nice to see a team that I like win. Same for, like, Bayer Leverkusen in Germany. Like, they're never going to win the title because Bayern Munich is just a steamroller. But yeah, I'm not going to hijack this anymore. What do you say we on this B-side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew Moose would be excited.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what the Browns do this year. I mean, they're
going to the Super Bowl.
They're in the
1 in 15. 1 in 15.
I mean, they're in a national spotlight this year with HBO's Hard Knocks. They're Baker Mayfield is something, I guess. So go Browns. I'm not even going to worry about the Cavs until October. So anyways, this has been Nerds Gone Rogue B-Sides. Remember, you can find B-Sides every Friday at 7 a.m. here on youtube.com/NGRradio, NGRradio.com, and your podcast service of choice. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to check out Nerds Gone Rogue every Monday at 7 a.m. also on your podcast service of choice, where we talk about video games and such. So thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, we love you.
Corey, be optimistic. At least you have a baby on the way.
Yeah. Baby. The other white meat.
Cue the Moose.
You're welcome.
B-side Nana and out.